The stew is bubbling, but look closer at the meat in the pot. That's not pork, that's a finger. A mother's finger. Tonight we serve the ultimate betrayal, a family feast, where the main course is the family itself. Hello, I am Mr. Green Cap. Hunger makes men do terrible things. But in the isolated mountains of 1940s China, one man's hunger opened a door to a darkness that couldn't be closed. Today, let's talk about the gluttony. This story comes from our confidential archives and happened in a place we'll call Li Family Village. To bring you closer to the horror, I will narrate it from the perspective of the witness, a young boy named Zong Ping. So, turn off the lights, lock your doors, and let's open the file. I was 13 years old that winter. The village was cut off by snow, silent as a grave. Our nearest neighbor was Old Song. Just a year ago, Old Song was the man everyone looked up to. He had a strong wife, Xu Ying, 2 beautiful daughters, Daya and Eria, and a little boy, Stone. They were the picture of a happy family. But then, the peddler came. He didn't sell tools or seeds. He sold dreams in a pipe. Opium. It started small. Old Song said it helped his back pain, but soon the pipe was glued to his hand. He sold his livestock. He sold his furniture. The fields that used to be the pride of the village turned into a tangled mess of weeds. My mother would look out our window and shake her head. "That house," she'd whisper, "is cursed." Old Song didn't care. He sat in his dark living room, coughing a wet, hacking cough, his eyes sinking deeper into his skull until he looked like a skeleton wrapped in skin. Then came the hunger. That winter was harsh. We were all rationing potatoes, but from the Song house, a smell began to drift out. It was rich. It was heavy. It was the smell of stewed meat. I remember lying in bed at night, my stomach empty, smelling that savory aroma. It wasn't just appetizing, it was too sweet, cloying, like flowers rotting in the sun. "How can they afford meat?" I asked my mother. She didn't answer. She just told me to stay away from there. But children are curious. One night I had a nightmare. I dreamed I was peeking into Old Song's pot. The broth was bubbling, thick and red. But when a ladle stirred it, what floated up wasn't a ham bone. It was a hand. A small, delicate hand with a silver ring on the finger, the same ring Xu Ying used to wear. I woke up screaming. The next spring, Xu Ying disappeared. Old Song told everyone she ran off with a traveling salesman because they were broke. "Xu Ying?" my father said. "Leave her kids?" "Never." But Old Song insisted. And then, 6 months later, his eldest daughter, Daya, vanished too. She was here last night. Old Song wept to the sheriff, his eyes bloodshot and wild. "She's gone." The village chief organized a search party. My father went. They combed the woods for 3 days. They found nothing. No footprints in the snow, no torn clothes. Everyone said it was wolves, or maybe a mountain lion. But the night the search ended, that smell returned. That thick, greasy, suffocating smell of cooking meat. It hung over the valley like a fog. I went to check on little Stone. He was playing in the dirt, looking like a ghost. I gave him a piece of bread. He ate it so fast I thought he'd choke. "Stone," I whispered, "did you have dinner?" Stone looked at me. His eyes were wide, too big for his face. I saw Daddy eating," he whispered. "He wouldn't let me in the kitchen. But I looked through the crack. He was eating big pieces." He looked at me, Zong Ping. His eyes, they were glowing green. He told me he found a dead deer. "But you guys looked everywhere. There are no deer." The hair on my arms stood up. Then the animals started dying. Farmers found their chickens with their heads bitten off. Goats were found in the fields, their insides completely hollowed out. And then the blacksmith's family, 3 people, were found torn to pieces in their beds. The old hunter, Mr. Liu, looked at the bodies. "This ain't no animal," he said, loading his rifle. "Animals kill to eat. This thing kills because it likes it." The true horror revealed itself on a full moon night. I had gone out to the outhouse. The silence was absolute. Then I heard a sound. Scritch, scratch, like dried leaves moving. I looked toward the tree line. Standing there on the hill were 2 figures, one tall, one short. The moonlight hit them. Their skin was the color of old bruises, blue and gray. Their clothes were tattered rags fluttering in the wind, and they were floating. Not walking, their feet hovered inches above the snow. Slowly, they turned their heads toward me. I froze. Their faces were covered in green, moldy fur. Their fingernails were long, curved black talons. And their eyes. Oh God, their eyes. They glowed red, like burning coals in the dark. It was Xu Ying and Daya. "Mom! Dad!" I screamed, scrambling backward. "Monsters!" The door to our cabin shook. Boom! Boom! Wood splintered. My father threw his weight against the door. "It's a zombie," he gasped, using the old word his grandfather taught him. "A corpse demon." We could hear them scratching on the other side, growling low, guttural sounds that vibrated in our chests. Just as the hinges were about to snap, a rooster crowed from the coop. The sun began to bleed over the horizon. The scratching stopped. We survived, but the village was in terror. The chief called in Master Chen, a Taoist priest who knew about things not in the books. Master Chen arrived, but he didn't bring a Bible. He brought a sword carved from wood. He took one look at old Song, who was now lying in his own filth, dying, and walked straight to the kitchen. He pried up the floorboards. Underneath was a jar. Inside were dried black human remains. "He ate them," Master Chen said, his voice flat. "To feed his addiction, to feed his own rotting body, he consumed his own wife and child, and their resentment, their hate, has kept them here. They have become what he made them." That night, Master Chen set a trap. He prepared 3 things: fire, a bowl of white grains, and a jar of dark blood. When the 2 green-furred monsters descended from the woods, we were ready. Master Chen stepped forward and drew his sword. It was a Tao Mu Jian, a blade made of peach wood. In the East, they believe peach wood absorbs the essence of the sun, making it fatal to creatures of the shadow. The female monster screamed. She lunged, her claws aiming straight for the master's face. Master Chen dodged and threw a handful of the white grains. It was glutinous rice, sticky rice. To us, it's just food. But to the undead, the pure yang energy in the grain burns like acid. Crack, snap. The rice hit her skin and exploded like firecrackers. She howled in pain, smoke rising from her rotting flesh. But the smaller monster, the child, took the chance to pounce on the villagers. 3 strong men hit it with iron bars. Clang! It sounded like hitting solid rock. The bars vibrated in their hands. Useless. The creature swiped its claw. Slash. A man's arm was ripped open, blood spraying everywhere. "The blood! Use the hound's blood!" Master Chen yelled. We splashed the jar of black hound's blood onto them. Steam hissed up instantly. The monsters shrieked, a sound of pure agony. Their green fur sizzled. Realizing they were overpowered, they turned and fled into the darkness. "After them," Master Chen commanded. We lit our torches and chased them deep into the woods, all the way to a damp limestone cave. We found them there the next morning. 2 corpses, not rotting but growing thick green hair, and around them, piles of fresh white bones. We burned them. As the fire consumed them, the valley echoed with screams. Not human screams, but the shrieks of something finally letting go. When we went back to old Song's house, he was dead. His chest had been torn open, his heart and lungs were gone. Master Chen lowered his wooden sword. Retribution, he said. The flesh he consumed has finally consumed him. Old Song died, but the scars on our village remained. We buried the bones properly this time, but even years later, on quiet nights, the old folks say you can still hear weeping from the woods behind the Song place. It's a story of addiction that ate a man's humanity before it ate his flesh. People say ghosts are scary, but compared to a human heart blackened by greed and smoke, ghosts are nothing. So, cherish your family and stay away from things that cloud your mind. I am Mr. Greencap. See you next time.